bottomed Higgins boats could do 12 knots. We barely managed 4.5, which is about as fast as a man can walk. Think of us walking to shore under fire. We circled for half an hour until the beachmaster dropped his red flag, the signal to form up and head for shore. Our battleships and cruisers had been working over the island since dawn, guns cracking like thunder. They paused long enough for the dauntless dive bombers and TBMs to sweep in and dump their bombs. Then they started up again. After our wave got underway, a couple LSTs that were parked out on our flanks sent swarms of rockets screeching over our heads. I'd never heard a sound like that before, something like cloth ripping. A curtain of black smoke hung over the whole beach. It looked like the island was on fire. Somewhere along our way in, Jap artillery found the range and started working us over. The last 1,000 yards we were under fire the whole way. Over the general racket, I couldn't hear bullets dinging number 13, but we kept our heads down anyway. Shells were smacking the water all around us, raising big spikes of foam. Here and there, other LSTs and Higgins boats would disappear in a roar of flame. The first bodies floated by. We'd see many more. About 700 yards out, number 13 lurched and halted, pitching us into each other. Treads flailed, and something went grinding and scraping beneath our hull. We'd struck a reef. Now the Jap shells were landing closer, left, right, and behind us. We sat there, churning water, and minutes seemed to drag by, though I'm sure only seconds were passing. Our sergeant, Johnny Marmot, leaned forward and stuck his .45 in the driver's face. "If you don't get this son of a bitch moving, I'm going to, by God, shoot you in the head," he shouted. "We're sitting ducks out here." The driver was pushing and pulling controls like a madman trying to rock a car out of the mud. Treads were spinning, kicking up spray. Then something gently lifted us, and we were moving again. The instant we broke free, an explosion ripped the water right in front of us, dousing us with spray. I made a quick mental calculation. All that time we'd been moving toward the shore, some Jap gunner was watching us, leading his target. When he figured the trajectory of his shell would intersect our path, he fired. The seconds we'd been hung up on that reef were just long enough. If we'd been plowing forward, we'd have ended up just where he calculated. That shell would have landed in our laps. None of us talked about it afterward. We were busy with other things, but I honestly believed it then, and I believe it today. That was a God thing that hung us up on that reef. We'd been lucky back on Cape Gloucester, too. The Japs expected us, but not where we landed, and we went ashore almost unnoticed and unopposed. At Peleliu, they were waiting for us, and they hit us with everything they had. After we stalled on the reef, they never gave us a moment's rest. We never felt safe, and we never let down our guard, not even for a minute, until the day we left the island. Number 13 rolled up onto the beach, and we bailed over the sides, dropped to the sand, and took off running. That's Marine doctrine. Get off the beach. You're a target. You're cluttering things up. Move out. Beyond the beach lay a strip of dense scrub, and 200 yards beyond, the enemy airfield that was our first day's objective. A wall of steep hills covered with dense scrub arose behind the airfield. Navy guns were pouring shells into the far edge of the airfield and the high ground beyond, laying in white phosphorus smoke to screen our landing. There was no breeze, and it hung in the air, drifting back over the beach and mingling with black smudge from Amtraks and ducks burning in the surf. Coming in, we'd seen our own men floating in the water. Now we came upon the bodies of the Japs who had been caught in the bombardment before we landed, and the body parts. We also saw shell casings, marine helmets, combat packs, weapons lost or discarded. All battlegrounds eventually look like trash dumps. As the temperature climbed past 100, we started dumping things ourselves. The gas masks were the first to go, then our canvas leggings. They were a nuisance.